Welcome back to the Jackpot Road to Glory. Elliott Productions here, and today, as you guys can tell by the title, we're going to have a little bit of discussion of what's left for NHL 25 Hockey Ultimate Team. Now, in the background, you guys will see me completing a couple sets here, getting, of course, my captain Mark Stone, his fantasy card, as well as the 94 overall Shea Theodore from the Stanley Cup Playoffs promo, as well as taking in my kind of like God Squad with some of the new upgrades into some Hot Rivals gameplay. But before we go into that, huge congratulations to my Edmonton Oilers fans. Got a little bit of a special line for today. We got 94 Victor Aardvark, we got Dwayne Jetski, as well as Connor Mickey Mouse. So having a little bit of fun with an Oilers line, but a huge congratulations to you guys beating my Golden Knights in overtime earlier tonight. It's been a hell of a series, and good luck the rest of the way in your Stanley Cup playoff run. Hopefully you guys can get back there and win the cup this year. Kind of do sort of what Florida did. They lost to Vegas and then they ended up winning it. So hopefully you guys can kind of do that. I know Connor McDavid is chopping at the bits to get that Stanley Cup, and I know my Oilers fans, there's been a lot of you guys in my comment section. I know you guys are chopping at the bits for that too. So best of luck to you guys throughout the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and for those who are fans of other teams still in the Stanley Cup playoffs, good luck. Good luck. This has been one of the most entertaining years of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It feels like in quite some time. It just feels like every game has so much weight, as it obviously does, but like every game's just been so crazy. So crazy. The storylines as well have just been insane. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying it, even if you don't have a team, kind of in it. But as I mentioned, you guys will see some Hot Rivals gameplay here in the background. Just wanted to kind of have this discussion while there's at least something going on in the background. So let's go ahead and have this discussion on what's left for NHL 25 Hockey Ultimate Team. So, of course, obviously right now we are currently in the Stanley Cup playoffs in real life, and with that we've gotten some really good content here in NHL 25 Hockey Ultimate Team. I gotta be honest, when the regular season ended, I was kind of worried about the content they'd give us going into the playoffs, but I have to say they've kept the game sort of alive. Obviously, bringing back the fantasy promo for it, genius. Bringing it again for like the second round, genius. And just keeps people entertained. It keeps people wanting to play the game, grind, and get those cards. It's just been huge. I feel like now that we're kind of here with the closers promo, we're kind of getting some random content again. Like Warp Speed cards were back earlier yesterday. It's 3 a.m. while I'm recording this. You guys will see this video in like 3 hours. So that's why yesterday was Wednesday. But anyway, sorry. Distractions. But I'm really curious what they're going to be doing after the Stanley Cup playoffs. I would love if by chance they want to give us kind of an idea of how content will run in NHL 26. I think that would be great to kind of give us that glimpse, as the NHL season fully comes to a close, the playoffs are over and everything like that. But I think as far as having the playoffs, still live and active, that has really kept this game alive and active. I feel like this game, kind of after Team of the Year sort of fell off a little bit. But then it was still kind of, keeping it a little bit of life, as we were getting closer to Team of the Season, and obviously with Team of the Season here. And then, of course, luckily that all led into the playoffs. So it's felt like this game has had kind of like a revamp, just design in a sense of, giving us a lot of content. Because we've had days throughout the current, regular season where it was like we got retro, throwback Team of the Week during like the 6th or 7th week of like the actual NHL season. Like what? We would get promo Fridays where we only got like 6 or maybe 10 cards to last us from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday until Tuesday's new content, because we only get 3 days of content a week. We only get Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And it's like you gave us like 6 cards to last us the next like 4 days. And not only that, but like they're all like, basically not pullable, not really achievable to get, like whatever it might be. Obviously like we'd get like new MSP cards or whatever to like grind for, but like, not really good ways to kind of get the cards and stuff like that. Like it's been such a mixed bag of content this year. And sure, there's been promos that have been really good. There's been promos that have been really bad. But all in all, when it has come to NHL 25 Hockey Ultimate Team, I have to say, at least as far as myself, this has been one of the most enjoyable years of HUT I've ever been a part of. And sure, part of that might go to the Jackpot Road to Glory, bringing you guys this content on YouTube this year. The support that you guys have brought this series and myself on YouTube has just been insane. Thank you all so much for that. And for anyone new here, hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you guys along for the rest of the NHL 25 journey and going into NHL 26, because I'm cooking up a lot of ideas that I can't wait to bring out, as we approach into a new game, this fall. We're basically now in the summer. It's May 15th. It is May 15th right now, which is insane. It's been 7 months officially of the Jackpot Road to Glory here on YouTube, which is awesome. Later on today will be when episode 1 first dropped, which is really cool. So again, thank y'all so much for the support on the channel and the series. And as we kind of approach into the summer and everything like that, I would love if, like I mentioned, we get kind of a glimpse of what content might look like for next year's game. I think that'd be a really good idea after the playoffs are over. That's basically going to be about the start of June. So kind of like a month out, it's more like maybe 3 weeks or so, but we'll just say a month, a month from now, give us, kind of the rest of June, July, August, and September, a little taste of what we might see with some of the new content. If we're still going to be on this 3-day schedule of Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, at least give us something. The summertime is really going to be an interesting part for this game, because obviously there's no hockey during the summer really. There's not really much to kind of get all that excited for, and as far as content that relates to even real life performances, we don't really get much of that outside of like a team of the week. Sure, they've made some cards a little bit more related to that, obviously, with certain promo drops and stuff, but like game breakers at the start of the year seemed like they were kind of replacing like prime times or whatever, and then they just kind of stopped doing them. They just said like, whatever, we don't care anymore. So it would be nice to see obviously content like that come back in next year's game, but if not, give us a glimpse of filling out those days. We only get 3 days. It's the end of the year, it's the end of the game cycle. Just release whatever cards, make it to where everyone can have a really great theme team. And speaking of theme teams, obviously here on the Jackpot Road to Glory, my Vegas Golden Knights is something we've primarily featured. Still, even in my God Squad, we have a lot of my Golden Knight players a part of this team. And one thing I really want to bring you guys is the all-time Vegas squad, and that's something I'm slowly working at. But like, I just picked up 92 Riley Smith and 91 Barbashev, and of course they just both got new closer cards, a 93 Barbashev and a 94 Riley Smith. So like, I got to get those cards. So I am going to wait to bring you guys that until the Stanley Cup playoffs are officially over. So that video will come to you guys sometime in June. We're going to do kind of like the introduction with them. It'll be kind of like a rivals like debut, and then we're going to do a whole Hut Champs run with the all-time Vegas squad. So really looking forward to that. So be sure to stay tuned, because that is definitely going to be kind of a fun little sort of like send-off of sorts for the Jackpot Road to Glory. Obviously, I'm still going to be, continuing to bring you guys content throughout the rest of this year, leading into NHL 26, but kind of like a close to sort of the rest of the Vegas and everything like that. And we're going to have a little bit of fun with a couple ideas I have leading into NHL 26 that I want to implement into next year's game. And kind of going further in onto that, a big thing I brought in this year that has been a part of the Jackpot Road to Glory has been pack and plays. Pack and plays have been a ton of fun, and thank you guys so much for the support on those videos. Whether they're just normal pack and plays, or we're forfeiting worst performers, a cards on the line, the entire pack, the entire team, whatever it might be, kind of a thing. I've spent well over, I think, nearly like 1.5, close now to like 2 million coins for like pack and play videos. I've probably lost like easily over 1 million coins on those videos, because some of those packs are like untradeable. Some of the cards I end up quick selling everything. It's just how it kind of goes and everything like that. But there's so much fun to do, and that's something that going into NHL 26 Ultimate Team, I want to run as its own series. And with that, for NHL 26 Ultimate Team, pack and plays will feature not only just like the promo packs that I have been doing, at least as far as the Jackpot Road to Glory, but I'm going to run the pack and play series based upon squad battle packs, Hut Rivals packs, as well as promo packs with coins I obtain through grinding the game, kind of like I have with the Jackpot Road to Glory. Obviously, this has been a no money spent series this entire year. I didn't even do like EA the early access. I spent no money outside of just buying the game this year, and we're going to do the same thing next year. We're going to be running the Jackpot Road to Glory, which is going to go back to its original roots of being a primarily focused, building up the best possible Vegas squad throughout the whole year, not featuring any sort of like God Squad or anything next year like that. It's going primarily focused on Vegas. And then, any new cards we get released related to, former Vegas players or current Vegas players. And as far as kind of new promo cards and sort of like God Squad, cards and stuff like that, kind of the team I'm playing in this Rivals gameplay for you guys, those will be featured upon something else, other content, other Rivals gameplay, reviewing new cards, seeing if, this new promo card is, worth going for, is it worth you guys investing, your time and your coins or, grinding to, get this promo card, that kind of content. So really looking forward to bringing you guys sort of 3 different branches of content next year. Obviously, of course, all content that has been a part of the Jackpot Road to Glory this year, but done up in a different way going into next year. So the Jackpot Road to Glory, the episodes for this series in NHL 26 Ultimate Team will primarily only be Vegas. And then as far as anything like, featuring, for example, Connor McDavid, who I'm skating up the ice here, his Team of the Season card, he'll have maybe his own video, is the new, Team of the Season Connor McDavid, worth your coins, kind of a thing like that, unlocking the power-up icon Wayne Gretzky, is he worth the grind, sort of ideas like that. And as far as pack and plays go, Pack and Plays will be its own series where, the cards I get through playing squad battles and through playing Hut Rivals, we then, use in a pack and play. And it could be like, all right, this week we have my Hut Rivals rewards. We open up all my packs. We build the team from those packs. And then I have to quick sell everything I just pulled. I'm getting basically no coins back. I don't even get to keep the cards for the team. And then for my Hut Champs run with the Pack and Play squad, we're still stuck with the same team that we had like last week, kind of a thing. So looking forward to kind of bringing you guys some content there. Obviously, it's all still kind of early things I'm thinking of. We got some time and everything like that. And I might even attempt a little bit of that as we play out the rest of NHL 25 Hockey Ultimate Team, because I think it would be fun to do like a Pack and Play Champs run. I think that could be something that's kind of entertaining. So I might wait till there's like a really big like promo pack again that does have like some decent odds, or at least, and do like a Hut Champs like Pack and Play. I think that could be really fun, but obviously I want to bring that as its own thing into next year's game for you guys, and I think that is going to be a ton of fun. Again, of course, alongside the Jackpot Road to Glory, kind of again going back to its original roots. And then when it comes to God Squad cards and new promo cards and everything like that, sort of bring you guys more of like a player review / like in-depth look, breakdowns and stuff to see if new content's worth it, cards that you should go after, things like that, because those are questions I do also get a lot in the comment section, and sometimes it kind of sucks not being able to like answer your guys' questions. And ultimately I feel like I have been able to answer a lot of questions this year, because you guys usually ask questions of like how the hell I get my coins, and luckily for those that watch the Jackpot Road to Glory, you guys have seen this year through pack pulls or through playing the game or through investments I made leading up to like Team of the Year and Team of the Season. That's how I made a lot of the coins, and how I've been able to have the team I have and do all these big pack openings we've done this year, and enjoy making pack and play content and everything like that. And it's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun. It's all entertainment, and it's content that has just been so much fun to make. And the fact that you guys have enjoyed watching it, supporting the channel, hitting the like button on the video, subscribing to the channel, just watching the series just means the world. So again, thank y'all so much. And again, for anyone that's new here, still listening to me ramble, hit that subscribe button. Would love to carry you guys into NHL 26 Ultimate Team and close out NHL 25 Ultimate Team with you guys. I think NHL 26 is going to be such a fun year. NHL 25 was kind of the year to sort of get the ball rolling here for myself here on YouTube with uploading this series for NHL, and I'm really excited with what we're going to create in 26. So again, thank y'all so much for watching today's video. Until next time, guys, I've been LA Productions. I'll see you all real soon. Peace out and goodbye.